I'm Victoria Zhang, Fellow of the Society of Actuaries. Today, we'll be discussing volunteerism with the organization. So as part of this SOA Thank You series, the SOA features volunteers whose time and expertise has helped to develop the shape of this profession and the community around them. I'm speaking with SOA volunteer Emily Sue. I've known Emily for a few years now, and I'm very excited to have her here to share with us her volunteer experience. So please welcome Emily.
My name is Emily Sue. I am a fellow of the Society of Actuaries. I started volunteering with the SOA in 2014 before I received my ASA, and it was with the Actuary of the Future Section Council. I was on the council for a total of 5 years. I started as an intern at the council and later became the chair of the council. So during that time, I had the opportunity to do a variety of things. I represented SOA at student conferences, wrote for the section newsletter, judged the SOA speculative fiction contest, and moderated a webcast, organized in-person networking events, and coordinated sessions at the Predictive Analytics Symposium. So with those experiences under my belt and a growing familiarity of SOA initiatives, as well as its staff and volunteers, more opportunities became available to me. So later on, I was also on the team that designed and piloted the SOA mentorship program a few years ago. I was part of the Young Professional Advisory Council in its inaugural year. I was a judge for the 2021 Student Research Case Study Challenge, and currently I serve as the vice chair of the SOA Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee.
Wow, that's really a lot of different experience that you had with SOA. So you mentioned that you started with your volunteering even before receiving your ASA designation. That's quite uncommon. May I ask, what promoted you to start the volunteering so early in your career?
Yeah, so I've always been very active in volunteering and just busy with extracurricular activities, even as far back as in high school. It's a way for me to broaden my network, enrich my experiences, and quite honestly, to de-stress from school and have some fun. When I started working full-time, I started volunteering within my company right away, but I also wanted a way to connect with the broader profession outside of the company. At the time, SOA felt so intimidating to me, I actually didn't know where to begin. Luckily, I stumbled upon the intern application for Actuary of the Future Section Council days before its closing. SOA membership was not a requirement, which had been the biggest barrier for me. So I decided to take a risk, go for it, and then I never stopped.
That is a very inspiring experience. I'm sure there are a lot of young actuaries out there who want to start the volunteering with so early. And actually you did it. So maybe tell us a little bit more about your early experience and how that has been evolved over time.
Of course. I think my biggest mental block has been perceiving that those around me have so much more to offer than I do. When I first joined the council, most of the members were FSAs, and many of them are senior managers or VPs at their respective companies. So here I am, a pre-ASA actuarial analyst. What can I really contribute? So I stayed quiet on the first few council calls. Then, a few months later, the council was discussing potential topics that may be of interest to college students and entry-level actuaries. I was in that exact demographic, so I spoke up and offered my opinion. It was very well received, and council members encouraged me to share more. That's when I started finding my footing as an SOA volunteer. Then, a few years later, when I attended the leadership orientation meeting as chair of the council, I was once again feeling out of place. I was the least experienced person in the room, and I didn't think that I could make any meaningful contribution among this group of experienced leaders. But everyone I met there was nothing but encouraging, supportive, and inspiring. What I needed to realize was that SOA staff and other SOA volunteers didn't care about my job title, my exam progress, or my age. What they cared about is how I can help move the SOA and the profession forward. Some people help with their rich work and life experiences. Some help with their vast connections. Others help with enthusiasm and time. Everyone has something to offer.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I want to echo that we all have something to offer to SOA. So maybe you can share with us a couple of the rewarding moments you feel during your past experience with SOA volunteer.
Well, definitely. Over the years, there have been many rewarding and proud moments for me. I'll share a private one of more of a personal growth, and then a more public one that's impacting SOA and its members. When I first became chair of the Actuary of the Future Section Council, I wanted to do a lot of things in a short amount of time. What I didn't take into account was that this is a volunteer role and everyone had different levels of capacity. So one of the most experienced council members sent me a 2-page long email detailing his frustration with my approach and offered constructive suggestions. While it was a shock at first, I appreciated him taking the time to share such candid feedback. I also valued his perspective as a longtime volunteer, so I adopted several of his suggestions. Later on in the year, he sent me another email praising me for a job well done. He was impressed by how prepared I have been in meetings and commended me for my dedication and ability to listen and embrace opposing ideas. Even though these email exchanges were private, I held this experience of personal growth very humbly. It remains one of my most treasured moments as a volunteer to this day. The other rewarding moment for me was making the first ever Emerging Leaders Summit a reality. The idea came up while I was part of the Young Professional Advisory Council, and I felt really strongly that this would be beneficial to so many SOA members and candidates. I stayed on the planning team even after my term ended on the council, and I worked closely with the team every step of the way. With the conferences wrapped up earlier in May, I'm very proud to have positively influenced over 300 emerging leaders in the profession.
Wow, 300? You must be very proud. So moving forward, what are you most excited about as an SOA volunteer?
I'm actually really happy that you asked about this. So my main volunteer focus now is on the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. So the committee is composed of very passionate individuals, each with their own unique experiences and perspectives, but all with the common goal of promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion in the actuarial profession. It's a really hardworking committee, and I get actually really inspired and very fired up every time we meet. I'm really excited about the early support that we have received from SOA and the board. I'm even more excited to see impact to the profession that can be brought about by our volunteer efforts. And I really look forward to the day when I can proudly say that I was an agent of change for these initiatives.
Yeah, well, definitely keep me posted on that, Emily. I'm interested to know how it goes.